buying journals, filling out a few pages, and then letting them sit on a shelf where they never get filled out until you go and you buy another one and still don't fill that one out. That did used to be me in the beginning. Don't feel bad, but we're gonna fix it today. Finished almost every journal I've bought. How do you keep up with journaling consistently? First up, let's talk about the art of documentation in general. I think it is so necessary to have some form of documentation process so that you can witness your growth, you can witness gratitude for how far you've come. I can see how God has shown up for me in the past. It's grown my faith journey in that way. So there are just so many beautiful things about documenting yourself. You have data on yourself. You want to make sure that you're picking a form of documentation that really resonates to you. Now, I am biased towards pen and paper. I do think that everybody can benefit from actually writing. I think we do everything on technology now, so having a physical writing practice, I do think is beautiful. However, I see people journal in lots of different ways that resonate to them, and they might not even realize that it's journaling. Taking photos can be a journaling practice. Taking videos can be a journaling practice, just like on your phone. I've been documenting my life that way since I was very, very, very young, even before I got into like actual physical journaling. I have friends who during the pandemic just went into photo booth on their laptop and just documented how they were feeling every day or every week. I've heard people, oh my word, there was the coolest thing somebody said in my comment section the other day. They said that they film videos and upload them to YouTube, just like a private YouTube channel that no one can watch. They don't have to pay for space and they can just go back through and watch all of the videos like a playlist. And I thought that was so smart. People will even just go into their voice memos app and just record how they're feeling. There's so many ways to document yourself. You can get so creative with it. I think that's the whole point. This is especially a good practice for creatives. If you're documenting yourself, you're gonna have so much content to pull from. It's actually insane. Pick your medium and stick with it. Try a whole bunch of different things, see what feels easiest to stick with. It's okay to switch it up and have different phases, but to have a library of yourself is so beautiful, and I cannot explain it. Like, anybody who has one knows what I'm talking about, but there's something so cool about looking through this book and thinking like, this is me. Like, between these pages, it's my brain and my thoughts and my life experience. And that is so cool, like so completely fascinating. Now, you've chosen your journaling practice. For the sake of this video, we're gonna go with a paper pen example, since that's just like the most common way that people journal. So here's the scenario. You're sitting there, you're looking at the blank page, you have the pen in your hand and you're like, what do I write? My friends think I'm crazy for just like pulling out the journal and I just start writing. Like, I just know what I want to write about. But it took me a while to get there. I think when I first started journaling and I started with a blank page, it was really repetitive. It was just me talking about my day and I was like, this doesn't feel very fulfilling. The thing that got me to start like a self-discovery journal practice and kind of like get my creative thoughts moving was I looked up prompts on Pinterest. How do you spend your Sundays right now? Who's someone you need to forgive? It would span from very simple, cute things, very lighthearted things, to deeper things. I didn't realize how cool they were going to be to look back on. If you really don't know where to start by writing your day, documenting what you did that day, how you felt about it. If that sounds too boring, you're not alone. If that is boring and repetitive, like, our lives don't look that different from day to day. If you want to switch it up, look up some prompts on Pinterest. If you want to just like have a starter month of prompts, I have put together some prompts down below. So go check out that link. That's totally free. And hopefully that kind of helps get the gears rolling. You're gonna start to see what you enjoy, and then you can kind of tweak the practice from there and make it your own. I also know that a lot of people will do like junk journaling, or what else is it called? Smash booking, I think. If you're like a really sentimental person, this one actually might be for you. You might have a box of things that you like to keep, letters, notes, whatever it is. Use your journal for that and just fill it up. You can write about what it means to you. Journaling doesn't need to be this neat, clean thing. I also saw this really cool cool like Tumblr post that someone had screenshotted and put on Pinterest, and the person basically asked a question like, how are you guys writing about your day every day? Because my day is so boring. Like, how do you come up with things to do every day? Are you just like the most exciting person ever? Someone responded and was like, I'm actually documenting my life for future historians. They'll document memes or quotes from the internet. They'll write about weather patterns. And they basically made the point that if the internet were to go down, that like humanity had some crazy apocalyptic type falling out and barely anybody existed anymore, what would historians, if they found a journal, what could they learn about our society and culture way in the future? And I thought that that was such a creative way to think about it. However, if the world ends and someone finds my journal, I'm crashing out from beyond the grave. Like, there's no way. You cannot read the things I have written in there. No, they would get a terrible impression of humanity. I'm either gonna like need to burn my journals like before I die, or put in my will, like, please burn my journals so that they are not found by future historians, because I will absolutely not. The last thing I want to encourage you to do when it comes to building a journaling practice is to actually think of it as being a practice. You're not going to get through the journal if the journal is just something that you do randomly every couple months, couple years, couple weeks, whatever. You're going to need to build an actual practice. You have to show up there just as often as you would wake up and wash your face and brush your teeth or read your Bible, take an everything shower. Like, journaling needs to be on your schedule just like all of those things are. Otherwise, you're not going to see the results. You're not going to see results from anything if you're not consistent, right? When I'm talking that journaling can be a therapy dupe if you do it right and often enough, like, I love therapy. When I went to therapy for the first time, the therapist was like, you seem very good at like processing your emotions. Why are you here? And while I was honored by that, I was also like, look, Kim, like, I sometimes just want somebody to talk to. Anyway, can only attribute, like, yes, I'm grateful my parents like raised me to process my emotions well and like just to be emotionally intelligent, but also my journaling practice has helped me learn how to understand my inner voice and process the thoughts and feelings that I'm having quickly. So I don't tend to harbor things down. I tend to be very self-aware because I can observe myself from a more objective standpoint. And so if you can't afford therapy, this is a great way to kind of dupe it out, you know? So I have a little bit of homework for you just to like help you know where to go from here. If you don't have a journal, buy a journal. Amazon has some great journals. I'll link some in the description below, some that I like. I personally have bought a lot of journals from Barnes & Noble. They do tend to be more expensive, so I would make sure that you actually want to stick with the hobby before you go and buy those. Or take the journal that you have not been filling out for how many years now? Let's write in it. We're going to do a 7-day consistency ground. We're going to lay the groundwork, okay? Keep it by your bed, and either every morning or every night before you sleep, write something down. It just needs, even if it's a sentence, write something down. It can be about your day. You can choose from the prompts that I put below in the description. Do the first 7. Just lay the groundwork for a consistent practice. Pick a medium and just stick with it for 7 days. Document yourself every day this week and just see how you feel. See if it helps you romanticize your life. See if it makes you think a little harder about what your life looks like right now, or if you're where you want to be, you know. Like, don't be scared of these thoughts. We're so scared to really be alone with ourselves and to sit with ourselves. There is so much gold there. That is the answer to everything, is just being able to sit with yourself and like listen to and understand your thoughts. That is a superpower. And no shame in off seasons. I do not journal every day. There are times where I go months without journaling. There are times when I go weeks. There are times when I'm super consistent. But regardless, I'm documenting myself. If I'm not writing in my journal, I'm on my phone taking a video. I hope that helps you get a really simple, nice start to journaling. And if you have any other questions, you can always put them in the comments or DM me, especially because I'm looking for more content ideas to do around journaling. So if you have a question for me, maybe I'll make a video about it. Y'all seem to like the journaling content, so I guess I'm sticking here. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.